Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network live mic tonight. As most of you probably know, why we're having a little bit of an open mic night tonight. Um, there was a unfortunate incident this past weekend at the divisional race at Lebanon Valley, and we kind of wanted to come on and give everybody a chance to talk about it if a little, or if they so choose. Um, I will preface that by saying there will be no bashing of anybody or anything or any place tonight. Not the place for it, not the time for it. But that's about it for the introduction portion of our show. And of course, the snowed in cloud covered backlit
The guy that looks like he
island
needs a tan.
smile. Yeah, major tan. I should send you the picture I found of it describes Florida weather. You'd get a chuckle out of it. You
Yeah.
and your wife would appreciate it. Of course, I'm talking about the mystery man, Mr. Peter Sanka. How are you,
Hello,
buddy?
hello. How are you guys?
Good. So you went to Lebanon Valley, got to play with your new toy a little bit,
I did.
do
Yep,
some
I did.
licensing stuff.
It made the necessary passes I need to to renew my license that I didn't know was expired for open cockpit. So I did that. Yeah, turned some respectable times, pretty much what I thought it would run. And now it's up for sale, ready to go.
What'd you buy it for? Just get my license and then turn it
I,
in.
it was a really cool project to do with the kids at school. They absolutely loved it. They've seen my car over the last couple of years, but never saw a dragster. And when they see that, to them, that's like a top fuel car because, they've never sat in one, never seen one up close. Um, was it really helped put a concept for them as to the engine in that car probably makes about 25 to 50 less horsepower than the one in my Vega. Yet it's 3/4 of a second quicker.
Right.
And that really gives them a lesson on aerodynamics and weight and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it was a really cool project to do. I did not buy this car to keep it. Uh, I shouldn't say that. If I fell in love with it, I would be keeping it. I would be thinking about four linking it and making it something for top dragster. But at the end of the day, I just really miss my Vegas. So now that I got that car done and ready to sell, turning respectable times, it's time to bring my baby back into the shop and get that ready to go.
Now, did you go back talking about the Vega? Did you go back to the fuel injection from the carburation?
So I did. So originally, when I went fuel injection, I did a sniper, which is a throttle body. Um, for me, it just didn't work out good. The weirdest thing about that was I would get the thing to run absolutely perfect, put it in the trailer, pull it out the week after, and it would run like I never did a thing to it. Couldn't understand why. Wound up giving up on that and going back to a carburetor. Now the fuel injection I'm doing is a fuel tech setup, and it's going to be port injection. So every cylinder has an injector as opposed to a throttle body sitting on top of a manifold.
Cool. Now, what other changes did you have to make to the motor itself to add this new fuel injection system?
Intake manifold.
Intake manifold, you just
Yep.
fill them and tap them essentially.
I yeah. Ironically, no. I actually bought. I bought an intake manifold that receives the injectors and the rails and everything all ready to go.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
I already had the high pressure fuel pump on it with a high pressure to low pressure regulator. because I didn't want to change all my plumbing and all that stuff, knowing in the back of my head that I was probably going to go back to this style of fuel injection at some point. So, put the high pressure regulator back on it, a couple of different fuel lines to go into the rails, and should be a pretty simple deal to get going.
Now, going back to the dragster thing a little bit, when you told them the difference of, this one makes less power, but it's faster than that car,
Yeah.
did they, was it a odd concept for them to grasp? I mean,
It's a little bit, yeah, because I mean, some of these kids start, especially like the freshmen, is they think the bigger the cubic inches, the more horsepower, like it's automatic.
right,
Like a 400 will always have more horsepower than a 350. Well, as we all know, that's not true. Um, so yeah, it's hard to get it's hard to get their heads wrapped around it. You got to remember, 99% of these kids didn't grow up in a garage like I did, or like 75% of the people that race.
right.
So they're just they came through for exploratory and it interests them, so they took it. And now they're learning all the concepts and all the crazy stuff that goes along with it. So, but yeah, it's you explain to them, like I did the old, for every 100 pounds is a tenth. Obviously, we know the faster you go, that doesn't hold true. But I brought in the old Moroso slide calculator thing and showed them, horsepower and weight and what it should run for ET and all that stuff, and it just helped make a better visual for them. And and that's not even playing into aerodynamics and all that good stuff. So
Now, I know you have the computer system with the weather station and everything too.
yeah.
Have you brought that concept into it at all?
I haven't. Honestly, I haven't, and I probably will, because the students that I had for 10th grade last year going into 11th, I've got probably a half a dozen of them that are like head over heels in love with this stuff. So I'm going to, after the regular, I could get carried away very easily with saying, screw teaching you how to do a brake job, we're going to teach you about race car stuff. So
Right.
I gotta, it's just as much discipline on my part for getting through the curriculum before we move on to the fun stuff. But yeah, that group, I could really see me getting into uh the more specifics of what's going on and how stuff affects certain things and all that, because they're definitely into it.
Well, it's like you said though too. It's like you get to explain the difference between driving a wedge through the air
Right.
and driving a box down through the air too.
Yep. Yep.
Essentially.
So yeah, it was good. It was good to catch up with all the divisional people that I haven't seen in a long time. It was good to be at the track. The weather was, holy shit, the weather was disgusting.
Oh,
So yeah, when we woke up, obviously, I knew that my car really wasn't going to be competitive in top dragster when I rolled through the gate on Wednesday night. I figured if I could get it to run a 775 to a 780, maybe I'll put it in top dragster. I'll have some fun. The minimum 770, by the way. Then when I saw the weather on Thursday, I was like, oh my God, this thing is going to be slower than shit. And it was. I went 799. The converter turned out to be way too tight. The gentleman that I got it from was obviously just happy with the way it ran and didn't care. Super, super consistent. I made 2 passes on Thursday in the 60-foot with like a 4-hour spread in between runs, was within 2 thou.
nice.
So yeah, very, very consistent, which is good, but it had no shot. I went 799 and an 802. And at that point I said, well, if I get into top dragster, I'm basically going to be handing someone a first round win. Didn't really want to put any more laps on something that I was interested in selling. it's completely fresh the way it sits, so no use in putting laps on it if I'm not going to do anything with it. So I got my license, I ran respectable times, and now it's time to move on to somebody else.
It's all in those nice stickers that are on the scoop. That's what's
I
in it.
couldn't agree more. I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it was, well, as you well know, I messaged you Saturday morning when we were on our way over. I'm like, should I just go home? But luckily, when we got to like the Vermont, New York border over in Bennington, and we looked towards the track, and it was blue skies. I'm like, all right, cool, we made the right decision.
Yeah,
And
it was funny because it actually cleared up at the track way earlier than it did at my house in Connecticut.
yeah,
One of the reasons why I decided to go home and I had forgotten all about it was one of my students had a big graduation party and an 18th birthday party that her father is also a teacher in the school that I'm very friendly with. And they invited us to that. And I originally told them I couldn't go because I was going to be racing. But seeing as how I wasn't racing, and we woke up to rain in the morning, and we saw the forecast for the heat and everything, I said, screw it, I'm going to go home and go to that party. And we did. But I mean, the party started at 1 and it didn't stop raining, misting, drizzling here till about 12:30. Basically, it stopped like right before the party started.
right.
And it definitely lasted a lot longer down here than it did up at the track because I feel like did it stop raining there around 9:30 or so? I feel
We
like they were
rolled
on the
in.
track around 11
We
ish.
rolled in right about 9:15, and it was blue skies, fairly clear,
Yeah.
and they were in the process of drying. I think first car went down the track. I was obviously didn't look at my watch, but I'm gonna say around 10:30, between 10:30 and 11 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was around 11 o'clock. So that's yeah, that's way better than it was where I am because if they had our weather down here, they wouldn't have sent the car down the track until 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. That was cool too. Obviously Rob Keister from Mid Atlantic .90 made the trip up. He said it's been like 18, 19 years since he's been there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, did he get down to 3 cars or something? He did really good.
Want to say four, but I could be wrong. I know he's listening, so I'm sure he'll chime in.
Yep, yep. No,
Um,
he did it. He had a good weekend. Hopefully he enjoyed the track. Um, yeah, it's with the exception of the terrible incident that happened uh Sunday. It's I absolutely love going there. I love what they did with the track. I love catching up with all my D1 friends. It was like I said, with the exception of what happened, it was a pretty good weekend. And again, you gotta. I know I say this all the time, and I'll keep saying it. You got to take your hats off to the LVD crew. The D1 crew. They worked their butts off. They had a great track. Um, could not have been easy with that weather. And Monday could not have been easy with what they had to deal with on Sunday. So, hats off to them. I can't say that enough. That's for sure.
Actually, Rob piped in. He made it to the semis. He said it was just him and the two baddest .90 racers in Super Gas.
Yeah, I thought he made it down to 3.
Yeah. So obviously Keith, who won the event,
Yep.
and, Mike Handress.
Right. Right.
So let's see what else we got going on here. Jason said you went back to EFI.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that. I'm
Oh, you
getting
saw
ready
that?
to respond to it. Not that I have to respond to him, because obviously, yes, I am. Um, I'm actually planning on going up to the school to pick my car up at some point this week, and then I'll post up some pictures of what I'm done, what I'm doing, and going back to a flat for me hood. Going back to the cowl with no scoop.
Yeah.
Duran had to paint a car up in northern Connecticut. So I had already had a cowl hood just in raw fiberglass. So I was fortunate enough to have auto body at school, do the body work. I fitted it, and then Jerron came down for a day and lined up all the flames and everything so we could paint it. So
Nice.
yeah. So it's just I gotta build a set of headers for it. And the reason why I'm doing headers is because with EFI, the oxygen sensors do a ton, as you can imagine. And even though I had a decent set of headers on them, I didn't have confidence that they were 100% airtight. I didn't like the way the flanges went against the heads and stuff like that. The headers that were on it were made for another set of heads. These heads are different. So my cousin, who's a machinist, we actually made a cardboard template of the exact flange and shape and everything and port size. And he milled me up 8 flanges, and I'm going to make a set of headers that's as perfect as I can make them. And I think that'll help with the EFI situation too, not having the slightest bit of an exhaust leak. And then I've already got the fuel tech in the car. I just had to switch to an injector harness, and should be a fairly simple swap. I don't know how simple the tuning end of it's going to be, just because I'm a rookie to it. But I'm fortunate enough to have Jamie Miller, the Pro Line Pro Mod crew chief, Jamie Miller. He lives one town over from me, so he's going to help me. He's a whiz with fuel tech too, so he's going to help me get a baseline and show me the ropes on what to do, and should be able to figure it out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Aaron Williams says, "Hello, gentlemen."
What's up, Mr. Williams?
Aaron Schatt says hi.
Aaron.
Who else?
So
George
Aaron's buddy that he wanted to get on the show and we had lined up, but he had to cancel.
Yes.
He just knocked down a $10,000 race.
Okay, that was all right. I saw that. Yeah, over this past weekend.
Yes, you got it. Aaron actually messaged me to tell me. So we should try to reach back out to him and see if we want to get him on the show, because he's definitely got a couple of W's going on there. That's for sure.
He actually just corrected you and said it was 100K.
100K. Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was 100K, but that's yeah. Could you imagine winning $100,000? Holy Christ!
I never see you again.
Whew. I know I've spent 100 on this freaking sport, but I definitely
in the past week.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, cool. Glad you got the dragster kind of sorted out.
Yeah, it runs good. It's like I said, it's going to make someone a great car. Just not for me.
Are you gonna? Is it parked to sell, or is it parked until you kind of look at it and go, maybe this weekend?
I really want to put the efforts into my car.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
If I have it for the Duzen, maybe.
Okay.
But I just, it's so weird. I've been racing the same car for so many years. I don't know how to explain it, but when I go to the track with a different car, I feel like I'm cheating on my wife. It's the most bizarre feeling. Like even my wife, she'd walk out of the motorhome and she'd look over and smile and see the dragster and be like, it's just not the same. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. It's just weird not racing with my car.
Jason said he's more than willing to drive it at the triples.
Brother, come on up. Knock yourself
You
out.
heard him, Jason. We have I can save that recording.
If I let him drive my Vega, which I have a couple of times, I've even let him take my car when I wasn't at the race. You know damn well I'll have no issue with you driving that friggin' dragster. Knock yourself out.
And our comp buddy Don Eccles said, "Come to the dark side." I assume he's talking about you and the dragster.
Yeah. Maybe if it was a comp, I would. Just so we could run the numbers by you and watch your head explode.
Gee, thanks. Appreciate it, buddy. So yeah, all in all, there was some really good racing. I have to cast my vote for race of the weekend. I usually don't do this because I don't pay that much attention to a lot of things. But Allison Bubka, did you get a chance to see that race on the stream? That
So let
55.
me. So I'm going to tell you that I didn't, but knowing you the way I do, I'm going to say that that's the girl who is racing the orange and white 55, and you are talking about when she beat Joe Santangelo. How's that? It's almost like our brains are connected.
Oh, that's some scary stuff, man. You don't want to be inside here.
Yeah.
Um, that that was, I mean, obviously Joe is one of the best in the country.
Oh
Nobody
yeah.
can deny it.
Yeah.
I'm never deny that. But that was cool. Just over 3 second head start,
Right.
and she won. And then a beautiful looking 55 four-door ship.
Yeah. It
It
was
was
a cool
badass.
looking car.
Yeah, that thing is badass. And like I said, that to me was the race.
Yeah. Very cool.
You go up against somebody. It's like if you had to race Keith and you beat him. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I'll have you know that I have raced Keith and I have beat him.
If we saw, all right, let me. If you race Keith and we actually saw it,
It might have been back when they started the race with a flag, but I did beat him.
and you guys are out there rowing down the track,
Yeah, yeah.
that was a really good race, and so that was my race of the weekend because I was sitting in the tower in the air conditioning and I watched that and I'm like,
Yeah, very
yeah,
cool.
that was it. Um, so there was also the Racer barbecue.
Yep.
I didn't stay because we surrendered about 5 o'clock because it was just too damn hot
Yeah, it was hot.
and headed home. And Elijah wanted to drive home, and that's the longest trip he's driven back roads. And I
Oh,
didn't want
cool.
him driving it. I didn't want him driving at night since he's
In the
still,
dark, right?
you
How
know,
long does it take you to get to the valley?
3 hours and 15 minutes in the morning,
Okay.
4 to 4.5 hours on the ride home.
And how far are you from Epic?
45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm 45 minutes west of Epping, and then I don't go the highway other than 89 to Route 9 here in where I live.
Yep.
I go up over the mountains and through like I said, Bennington, Vermont, and all that, all back
Right.
roads. It's I could go the Pike. I'm not a fan of driving on the Pike because it's just psychotic,
Yep.
in my opinion. Um, but yeah, it's a fun drive, especially like if we're in his car. You can
Right.
put your foot in it, and it's just nice windy roads, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
enjoy it
yeah.
and everything.
Well, with any kind of luck, my goal is to be at the Epping Divisional with my car. So we'll see how that goes.
Cool. Rob said the line for the barbecue was wrapped around the trailers.
Very cool.
Yep. And then the other part of the Saturday evening festivities was BJ Masiello did the ice cream social for the junior dragsters, but obviously it was open to everybody. And
Right.
my understanding is that that went over very well, and that is something that BJ took all upon himself to do for what started out the kids and then turned into everybody.
Yep.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Steve Lassard, definitely one of the best track crews around. Yes, without a doubt. Lebanon Valley has one of the best track crews. And I guess we kind of have to move on to Sunday, much as we may not want to.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I've had the luck of knowing the Janke family for I don't know 4 or 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever.
Yep.
I mean, obviously there are many people that know them way better than I do, but
Right.
they always were able to make everybody feel welcome in their pit area. I mean, last
Yep.
year they had a birthday party for their son Gavin, and every time my Meredith saw me, she's like, "Come on over. We're having a birthday party. You need to come. You
Yep.
will come. You're going to be there. We're going to have food and everything." Um, Real quick. Hey, Frank Volpe, how are you? Um, so
Yeah, I actually, unfortunately, I never had the privilege of meeting him. Just for our paths just never crossed for whatever reason. But I
right,
will tell you that for someone that didn't know him, to see the outpouring of support for his family and other racers and stuff, he obviously was a hell of a guy because, uh, you know, listen, we've all seen people pass away, uh, be it family members, be it other racers or whatever. But you could tell when it's just a mere acquaintance or if it's, someone that a lot of people really cared about and looked up to. And the difference when you're hearing the stories. And this was definitely one that stings a lot of people. That's for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I'm taking away from all this, and I'm only going to give it a teeny tiny little play
Yep.
because we all know that nobody associated with us would do it. There are a lot of sleazy ass people on Facebook that just
Yep.
don't know when to shut their mouths.
Mm-hmm. I got into a discussion with one person um, via private messenger, and I had to block him. And again, I'm not even going to give him the benefit of giving his name out because he's not even worthy.
Right.
Um, Nothing bad against the Janke family. Let's make
Oh
that
no,
very
no,
clear.
no, nothing,
Uh,
absolutely nothing at all to
but
do with the
just
Jankies.
stupid comments and stupid accusations and no intelligence or uh, just no intelligence pretty much sums it all up. But
Yeah,
it's
and
yeah, very unfortunate. My heart, I mean, I can't even imagine what the family is going through, and I cannot imagine what the Valley crew and the D1 crew went through, and probably what they're still going through right now, because it's not a matter of leaving the track and flipping a switch, because we all know it doesn't work that way. Um, it's unfortunate. We all know, and I'm going to say the same thing that everyone else says. We all know the risk. We all know the dangers. But at the end of the day, we don't think that that's going to happen, right? We've seen plenty of cars get wadded up. It's the same old stuff. You can fix the car, you can't fix a person. You scrape the shiny off of it, whatever, But this is the ultimate. Holy shit! I can't believe it. So
right, right. Um, a couple of things that I honestly already forgot if I mentioned it or not. But Hong Lee Jr. Is one of the organizers of a fundraiser. He's actually going to be joining us about 8 o'clock to kind of talk about that. It's Hong Lee Jr., DJ and Melissa Cox. Everybody knows DJ and Melissa. Um, they're working on a fundraiser for the family. I think it's more specific toward their son,
yep,
for future things, college, whatever. Um, and so we're part of that. And if anybody wants to donate, it's kind of a long address, and I'm not going to read it, but go to the RNN page and it's on there. There's a direct link. You can click on it and it takes you to it. Um, it's already raising money. It's been up for, I don't know, a couple hours, 3 hours, whatever. Um, so I recommend people take a peek at that, even if it's $5, it's fine. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be hundreds of thousands. It's whatever, if you can. Oh,
Yep.
excuse me. If you can do something, great. If not, just send a condolence in some form.
I
Um,
also saw something to the effect of uh sending, I don't want to, for lack of a better term, like gifts or something, especially for the son that I believe has autism.
yes, Gavin has is autistic, and he also has the cochlear implants on both sides.
Yep. Yep.
Quick word about Gavin. He is about the sweetest kid you will ever meet in your entire life. But yeah, Rob Keister, the Mid Atlantic crew, um, and a bunch of other people have gotten together and they're doing that. And they're also going to have, Rob, if you're still listening, I just please make sure I got this right. Um, they're going to have a card and like a donation box at the next couple of Mid Atlantic events over the next few weeks at Rob's trailer. I'm not sure if it's the Mid Atlantic trailer or his race trailer, but either way, you'll be able to find it easy. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
guess
doing stuff for him.
it's helping the son
Cope,
cope.
essentially.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm drawing blanks, but yes, cope. I guess he's a very good uh, illustratorist,
Well, he's,
cartoonist.
I'll tell you what, my God, that kid is an artist and a half.
Really.
Being 19 years old. It's amazing.
So,
Absolutely.
the purpose of why I'm saying this is because anything that could help the young man cope during this horrific time. I also read that he is a Lego kid,
Yep. He
right?
is a
Likes
Lego kid.
Legos.
Yep. Yeah, there's
So, again, if you want to do something different than just the GoFundMe or something, we could obtain the address if you wanted to, go get a box of Legos or sketching pencils or whatever, that could help the family and help the kid cope.
yeah.
There's plenty of options out there for however you want to do it.
Yeah. And Rob Keister from Mid Atlantic dot 90 in the top 32 is actually he's the post office. So if anybody wants to donate something and needs his address, shoot me a message and I will give you Rob's address.
Awesome.
Um, but yeah, the kid loves Legos, loves Harry Potter, Disney. I don't have the whole thing right in front of me. Um,
Rob put, if you want to know the specifics, Rob put out a post and he also blocked Meredith from it so that she can't see
correct.
it to keep it, on the anonymous side and stuff like that. So if you want to know exactly what he's into, Rob was very detailed in his post. So just look up Rob's post and you'll find it and you'll be able to help out the family.
Yeah. And also, I just got a message from Megan Hill. Her dad Dan runs Top Sportsman and they're very good friends of the Janke family.
Yep.
She has their address. So please feel free to contact her as
Awesome.
well. So, we learned a few years ago with Will Monroe's bad accident,
Yep.
what the family can do for their competitive, their friends who they race against every week sometimes.
Yep.
Um, so
We
um,
see, we see the posts all the time. Hey, I know this guy.
yeah, ding ding
Uh,
ding.
we see the posts all the time, the memes on Facebook. Drag racing is more than just a sport; it's a family. Introduces me to people I never thought I'd meet, and this is when you could really see that. I mean, that's on display during a normal race, but when something like this happens, it's really on display, and
Oh
it's
hell yeah!
humbling. It gives you faith in humanity again because we could all use that from time to time. But
All right.
yeah, I mean, it's we're one really big family, and we come together whenever we have to. That's for sure.
Give me just one sec, Rob. I just wanted to read something from Stephen White. Elite Auto Detailing is going to do a benefit cruise night at his shop on this coming Saturday in South Windsor, Connecticut, from 4 to 7. Also, Aaron Williams, our Disney employee buddy, is going to attempt to get some a piece of custom art from the animation store at Disney for him.
Very cool.
So very cool. What's up, Rob?
Well, you forgot you gave me the keys to the Cadillac. So I mean, so
I have the magic button though.
The keys to the vet, but we don't know if it's a Corvette or a Chevette.
Yeah, we don't. Kingdom. It could be a dysfunctional neighborhood. You never know.
or it's a beat up like 85 Olds Calais, and no windows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they make good super stalkers.
They do.
So yeah, I was listening to you guys and stuff. So the idea kind of came across this morning, especially after Will's crash a couple years back, and what Fast Freddy did for Will with the stuff. I actually, for the first time actually this weekend, met Will since the accident. I haven't seen him since. So he came over and we chit chatted for about a good half an hour and stuff. And the idea came to me this morning while I was sitting at work, because I got home I think 11 o'clock last night, and 3:45 the alarm went off to go to work. So I was the brain was a little foggy. But that and Gavin and I sat out there Saturday night at Ronnie Regal's pit. We were sitting there waiting for the dirt cars to start, and the Jankes are parked right across the street from them. And Gavin was out there with his basketball and stuff. And I actually have a family member who does have autism, and I know that change does not go very well with them during things like this. And so I knew, I didn't want to really get, too much. I would rather somebody else do the GoFundMe or the things like that if they wanted to. I really didn't want to get too much involved with that. So, but I was thinking about Gavin and stuff and about what we could do. So I text Melissa, DJ's wife, and we got, scheming and stuff like that, and just going over things that Gavin may want. And so we got like a list together of, he's a big Disney fan, loves to draw, and is actually an amazing artist, cartoonist, with some of the stuff that you've seen even Meredith post on Facebook of what he's done and drawn. And we wanted to put something together. So I'm actually working my regular job this week, but like I said, we'll be at Mason-Dixon in July 20th and 21st. So I'll have a giant card there. We'll have some boxes set up for anybody who wants to donate any stuff. And of course, not everybody runs my series, who runs the Division 1 stuff. So the New Media divisional race, which is I think July 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, I think it is, at New Media. I'll have the boxes set up again also if anybody wants to come over, drop something off. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a physical item. It doesn't have to be an artist thing. Like if you're like, I really don't know what to get them. If you just want to do an Amazon gift card, if you just want to even do gift cards to a restaurant to go eat, things like that, something that would help them out, just to get their mind off of things. And then me and Melissa are setting up a date sometime in mid-August once racing kind of is in a lull point, and we're gonna, depending on how much stuff. I've basically been busy since I made the announcement for 9-10 hours now of everybody just giving me addresses, people I've never talked to in my life, to give me the address. So I'm sure they're sending a bunch of stuff, and I told Melissa I might have to actually pack the Mid-Atlantic trailer with all the items I think that are coming, and we're gonna go up there and present it to Gavin like on a Saturday or Sunday.
Awesome.
So and I a lot of the closer friends, Brian Connery, Dan Hill, all welcome. Like I said, we're all going to try to get together, just a good date that we're not racing together, and just present everything to Gavin and just make him feel at ease, because it's just,
Yeah.
Um, Aaron Williams had a question for you, Rob. Wondered if you would happen to know what Gavin's favorite character is. I'm assuming Disney character. I don't know if
uh,
Melissa might have mentioned something, or even if Megan Hill might be still listening as
yeah.
well. Who knows?
Melissa just told me that, she was, he was just big into Disney, loved Disney characters. Uh, so, and I even asked Melissa if, like, what his favorite character was, and I think, she basically said like anything Disney. So,
Okay. All right. So Aaron, I assume you heard that. Pretty much anything would be awesome. So, well, that's cool. I mean, we saw being part of the fundraiser for Will, what it's like when everybody comes together, and it's really cool to see um it happen again. It's unfortunate that it had to. It's like Pete and I said when we did the t-shirts, we'll do it again in a heartbeat. We don't want to, but
Right.
we will if the need is there.
Yeah, it's definitely stuff that you hope to God you never ever have to do. But
yeah. And, the unfortunate part is, and things is that, um, it just, it's, I don't know. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing that happened and stuff. And it unfortunately puts it in perspective of you think about it on a regular basis, and I think it opened up the eyes, especially with John Force's crash, and now this is that how dangerous, how fast our cars are really do go.
right.
You know, it's we're basically propelling rockets down racetracks, at 1,320 feet, and sometimes and even a lot of the times with these places are like, oh, we're going to go eighth mile because we want it to be safer out there. Things can even happen in eighth mile. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's 1,000 feet, quarter mile, whatever. I mean,
Yep.
and just it's just such an unfortunate thing. And I won round two on Monday yesterday, and how the valley is, like the if you take the long shutdown area it was, and you come up that small little return road, and
Yep.
then it kind of blossoms itself out. Well, I pulled over to the side where you can kind of pull over, and of course, it's hotter than the blazes of what. And
Good
Scott,
God, it was hot, wasn't it?
oh my, yeah. And it didn't help is that like they didn't actually have an announcer yesterday, so it was just Wayne on the mic, and the only thing Wayne was saying was when they were announcing cars. So
Right.
and Pete, you saw where I was parked out in Eastern
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Yep.
So trying to actually figure out where, like, when cars were actually called up and stuff was kind of tough.
Right.
Not hearing like any kind of announcement stuff. So I know Saturday or Friday and Saturday I was going back, taking my pants off, putting shorts on for a little bit just to cool down a little bit. But it was like, you didn't know when they were going to call you, so I just kept it on all day long. And by the time I
Right.
got after the semifinals, it was just like, oh my god, I can't wait to get these damn racing pants off.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But again, after round two, and Scott Sayers, who works for Anti Safety Safari, me and him are really good friends. When he worked at Maple Grove and worked for NHRA and stuff for it was. And we always talk with each other. And I just walked over to him and I just gave him a gigantic hug. And I said, I think you need this right now. And he says, and he literally was like, you don't know how bad I needed that right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we don't think about that. We don't think that, the families grieving, but also the first responders.
Oh yeah.
And we kind of take that for granted and stuff. And I actually have a friend of mine who works for police department for Pennsylvania up near Warminster, near Amanda and Don Bangs. And
Yep.
he actually went into cop mode when the accident happened, and he ran down there himself because he was trying to see what the investigation. But like even his kids and wife said, it's like that's just what he does because he's so used to it,
Sure.
when there's an accident and stuff like that he goes into cop mode with seeing whatever he could do to help out. But yeah, it's just
I assume that one of the hardest things is if you're, uh, a state cop or a town cop, most of the time when you're involved in a situation, it's not with people that you know, but the first responders and the people that are on the scene when something like this happens, chances are there's going to be a good amount of a people that respond that have emotional attachment to the person that they're responding to. So it's like a double whammy with these guys. I mean, it's um,
It's automatic, and then you aren't thinking, well, maybe I should just step back and let somebody else do that job.
yeah. I mean, but you want to do your job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to help out as much as you can. It's not in first responders' nature to
Just step
say,
back.
"Let me step back." That's just
Right.
not their, it's just not their gig. Which is why they're first responders, right? And we need them so badly.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough because you have the emotional attachment on top of doing your job. Um, I do not, I respect them more than I'll ever be able to put in words, but I do not envy what they have to do. And not just first responders, but track personnel, both in D1 and the Valley. It's tough. It's tough. And I wouldn't want to do what they have to do.
yeah. So I just
No
want to
doubt.
explain a little bit, what we're doing and stuff for the Jankies and for Gavin stuff. So I'll probably end when we get closer. I believe, like I said, Melissa and I will probably go up to the house one night, closer to August, mid-August, once we collect everything, and then we'll present all the Gavin. So I'll probably end up going live or doing like a live feed, of us
Awesome.
presenting to him, just so everybody can see that, everything actually was, delivered and stuff. So
Cool.
you see his response to stuff because, I think, he's going to be appreciated. It's just, it's, it's just a tough thing for anything. And it's just,
You want to do whatever you can to put a smile on the face because right now, smiles are probably going to be a little hard to come by in that household. So you do
yeah,
whatever you can, right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, yeah, as far as now the fun, you talked about the fundraising part of it, the money part of it. Hong's actually going to come on hopefully in a little while and kind of fill everybody in and us in about that. And like I said, I have the link on our page for Rob's deal with the toys and the Disney stuff and everything, and also have the link already up for the fundraising part from it's Melissa, DJ, Conley Jr. and Megan Hill, and I'm sure and her dad Dan. So
yeah, I think it's only been up.
actually there's Hong right there.
I was gonna say, I think it's only been up 3 hours, and I think it's already at 10 grand.
Yeah.
Wow.
How you
Hey,
guys?
Hong.
Hi, Mr. Lee. How are you?
All right, how are you?
Very good.
What's up, long lost buddy?
No, not much. How about you?
Good. For those that don't know, Hong and I first met when we were probably about what 8 or 9 years old.
Correct. Long
Yeah.
time ago.
His dad used to whoop up on my brother in pro and super pro at New England Dragway.
Yeah,
So
it's been a while.
it has been a while. So Hong, I don't know if you know Rob Keister or not.
I don't.
He is the president of Mid-Atlantic .90, the top 32, the Mid-Atlantic top 32, up here. Because I think you're down south now, right?
Yes, I live in Florida. I still have my house in Epping, New Hampshire, but I live in Florida. I'll be down here. I just bought a house down here, so I'll be going back and forth within the next
Okay.
few years.
All right. And then in the top corner is my partner on the show, Pete Sanke. He races Super Street up here. So
Oh, nice.
How are you, sir?
All right, how are you?
Very good.
so a few hours ago, you guys posted the fundraiser for the Jankies. So why don't you kind of talk about that? Because it was you, Melissa, Megan, Dan, and I'm probably missing a few names.
There's a bunch of people that was involved with this. what happened was last night and the night before, I was in my bed just thinking, I couldn't sleep, thinking about Meredith and Gavin. And I said I wanted to do something. Where I live in Florida now, I try calling her and everybody's calling her. She's really busy with stuff going on. And I'm like, what can I do from Florida to help her? So I reached out to Tiana, Zarella, and Tommy, and they all gave me some ideas. Then I reached out to Melissa. I reached out to Megan Hill, and she reached out to Melissa and DJ Cox, and we all got together, Brian Conray, and thought about what we can do. They gave me this link that would help fundraiser. We thought about 3 or 4 different links that we wanted to use, but the problem is everybody wanted a piece of the pie.
Right.
And I didn't want anyone to touch the money. Everything go to Gavin and Meredith. I don't want, like GoFundMe.com wanted like 20% of it. And I'm just like, I don't want the racers think money's going somewhere. I want the money to go to the family that needs it. Not because they have a website, they deserve it all. So I think Megan is the one that did all the research on this. Megan Hill, she phenomenal person. And I know Dan and Bill were real close friends. So she gave me this website that helped. So I set everything up. I talked to Meredith today and gave her all the information. So everything that comes in goes straight to her. I did notice within about an hour, it was up to like $5,000. I think it's a little bit over 10,000 now in a couple hours. I am so happy. I hope it gets more because I do know Gavin will use it more in the future for his schooling or whatever he needs. I'm not sure about what their finances is, but I do know Bill was a main provider of the family. So I do want to help them in any way I could. So this is the only way I could do it right now. Until I get back to racing, this is the best I can do. I called it today and I know I can't make it up there for the rest of the funerals and stuff like that, but I do want to know that I'm thinking of her and this is the best thing I could do.
Very cool. Nothing at all wrong with that. It's because I know I had spoken with Melissa for a few minutes this morning and she wasn't sure what direction to go in. So I checked on a couple things and then I had seen your post about that fundraiser and I thought that was just really, really cool.
Yeah, this is the best thing I could do. The only thing I really can do in Florida, where I work down here, it's tough for me to leave for the job that I'm doing. So when I reached out to her, she was just happy that we called her. And I'm not worried about this week because I know she has a lot of support this week. I'm more worried about her next month
Right.
when nobody calls her.
When everything calms down.
When everything calms down and everybody gets back to the work and racing, I want people to at least reach out and just say we're thinking of her. She was so great. She always took pictures of every racer out there. I know I ran Top Sportsman with Bill. I helped him out a few times. He helped me out a few times. But every time we got done from the racetrack, Meredith would post all the pictures she took from all the weekends and make a video of everybody. It's just a wonderful group of family we have right here. So I wanted to help, and I hope everybody that listen or sees this will donate anything. And like I was talking to TT Motorsports, the guy I race for, I told him, I said, I don't care what it is. If everybody just took one day and stopped drinking coffee, that one cup of coffee and gave it to her will help so much. If we had every racer just do $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, I notice it's a lot more than that, but with the economy it is right now, anything will help what we can do to help them out.
Yeah.
Very cool. Go ahead, Pete.
I just our chat is blowing up right now with people thanking you guys for the effort of what you're doing. And it goes without saying that obviously we all feel the exact same way about wanting the family to get all the proceeds with no commission. So the fact that you guys did your homework and you were able to make that happen speaks volumes about the effort and what you're putting into this. And along with the family, I'm sure is going to be super grateful all of us racers that are able to donate or even aren't able to donate will be equally as grateful for the efforts that you guys are putting into this.
Yes, and Megan Hill did a lot of the research. I know I talked to her yesterday, and then she got back to me today. We wanted to make sure Meredith wasn't going to take this the wrong way, what we're trying to do for her as well.
Right.
She was on board, and she told me personally she wants all the money to go to Gavin for when, he's just graduating this year. Everything's going to go to him. I'm not sure their finances. I just hope we can do something as a racing community to help her.
Right.
That's our goal. I only known Meredith for maybe about 7 years. And the first day I met her, she took me in like family. Made sure we were all fed at the racetrack. I know Brian always over there cooking. AJ's over there, Melissa's over there, DJ's over there. It's just a whole group of family. Personally, I haven't seen him in the last year or two, but I text him like once in a while just to see how everybody's doing.
Yep.
I'm just glad that I can help with this way. If there's anything I can do, she knows she can call me at any time as well.
Very cool. Go ahead, Rob. Oh, Rob. Wake up, Rob.
Wait.
You looked like he was falling asleep.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, like I said, I had like hours of sleep from time I got home last night until work came calling at 3 o'clock this morning. But yeah, I mean, Hung just said. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. I mean, rather you were street eliminator to super street to stock to top sportsman to top alcohol, whatever it was. The racing family is a community, and we all know what we do is dangerous. We all know that there's dangers involved in everything we do, and like I said, everybody coming together for we saw the outpouring when Will was injured 2 years ago with t-shirts and the Will Strong t-shirts you guys did, and just donations and stuff to keep him going and stuff like that. And like you said, you guys don't like doing it. I mean, you guys hate to do it. But we all come together as a family and help.
Yep.
We help, our fellow racers out when they're grieving and their hearts are hurting. And, that's exactly what, we're doing as a team now, rather it be, like I said, I mean, I did the thing for Gavin because I know some people are not big fans of the GoFundMe stuff.
Right.
So
GoFundMe takes too much money out of it. If for every dollar, I think they take like 30 cents out, which is huge, I think. And Gavin will need it more in the future.
Right.
I'm not even sure how much money they had to put in for surgery for him when he was younger. I do know they were telling me about it a little bit, and just the amount of money he's going to need in the future for everything else. I hope we can just help him out with a little bit and go from there. And Rob, I think I saw you went a few rounds this weekend at Lebanon Valley as well.
yeah, I got down to 3 cars left. So
Congratulations. Yeah,
I've been there in 18 years. So it was
well,
18 years. So
yeah, I mean, I was watching it on D1 TV. I could only watch it, and of course Monday they wouldn't play anything. And then I saw you post something online that your car was down to a few cars or whatever. So congratulations on your going to semifinals. But
Very cool.
we all, like I said, together as a family, we all come together, and like I said, no matter if you guys want my address, I'm not going to post my address on Facebook just because there's enough spammers out there that God knows what they'll try to do or what kind of information they'll try to get from you. So you can just private message me if you want the address. And like I said, in mid-time August or so, we're all going to get together and try to go up to once things like I said, kind of calm down with the funeral and stuff like that, and present everything to Gavin. Probably like mid-August sometime. I think we're might be planning like the second weekend in August because my series has the pig roast the 1st of August, and then I think there's a week off, and then I think there's the Epping divisional. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I
so
was- Like I'm
Are
gonna come
you,
up for the Epping
Rob?
race. Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
huh? Rob, are you going to the Epic Divisional?
no, I'm not.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put it out there that if anyone has something that they would like to give to the family, if they bring it to my trailer during the divisional at Epping, Chris and I will take care of getting the stuff to you, either shipping it to you or driving down to you or whatever. If anyone has anything that they want to donate, we'll take care of getting it to where it needs to go so it could get presented to the family.
Yeah. So
August is a pretty off month for me as far as racing goes. Like I said, we have the pig roast in 1st of August, and then I don't race until the September 7th, 8th .90 race at Cecil. And then it's like Keystones, week off, Virginia. And then depending on points wise, I might go to Rockingham or, possibly St. Louis if somebody wants to take my car to St. Louis. But yeah, so I think me and Melissa talked about like the off time in August to try to get us all together and go down there and present everything to Gavin. So, and just from the outpouring I've got, I mean, like I said, the funding one thing, I just looked at it and they were about half an hour ago and saw how much was already there. So, and that just, just I mean, on to whatever I've already gotten from the messages and stuff. So I think
Right.
the Amazon PS FedEx drivers are going to be pretty busy around my house here in the next couple of days, just from people, saying that they're going to send this or send that. And, people on, I know Taylor, Nobile, and Riley went shopping today.
Yeah.
She was about them going to Target and stuff. So I know Tina O sent me a picture of things she ordered off of Amazon to send to me. There's a couple, like I said, gift, whatever you guys feel is comfortable enough that's going to help them out. Like if you don't feel like doing cash, we will make sure it gets to them. We will make sure that it is presented to them and that,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's funny because our chat, like I said, it's been lighting up. Frank Volpe says that he'll be at Epping. He'll be happy to help out too. And then Jeannie from Lebanon Valley said, we could do the same thing at the Triple Tens. I will be at the Triple Tens also. So obviously the same offer applies. Whatever we could collect for the family, I'll personally make sure that it gets to the family, either through you or shipping to them or shipping to you, whatever it takes. We'll make it happen. But let's set that up for the Epping divisional and the Triple Tens. We'll combine the efforts between the two and then get them off to you guys.
just so I just grabbed my calendar just so everybody knows the triples at Lebanon Valley are the August 9th through the 11th. The divisional at New England is August 16th through the 18th. And then actually there's a 10K race at Maple Grove the 23rd to the 25th of August. I mean, excuse me. So just so everybody has an idea of what the schedule is for the first few weeks of August.
Yeah. And they said we'll just have to figure out, I'll talk with Melissa here once, things start coming and stuff. What's a good date for her? Because they're down in Baltimore area. So they would have to come south up to me and then us get all together and drive on up. I think from what I remember, I think they're the Jankies are about 2.5 hours north of me. So like I said, we would pack up everything and present it to, whatever. So, but we also have to just, definitely see what the racing schedule is. I mean, I know what my racing schedule is, but, I don't know what DJ is with the funny car. So, that could also take up some weekends too. I don't know if they're going to do Bowling Green and Indy and stuff. So that, that could take up some weekends too of them not being available. So, but we'll get it all together and make sure. And then, whatever said, you guys collect that triple tens and Epping divisional.
Yep.
You know, we can always you know, either make another trip or you know, have it direct shipped to them, you know, depending on how much you guys get.
Yep. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever it takes, we'll gladly make it happen.
I
Absolutely.
know Tiana Zarella will be at New Media for presentation as well. She's races with me or with our group, and she's out of the New Hampshire area in Epping. I know I'm going up to the divisionals in August to race up top Sportsman and Super Gas. So I'm hoping to see everybody there as well. And I tried to get a hold of Meredith to see if I can stop by while I'm up in that area, at least to say hi and see how she's doing. But I'll be up there, so if anyone needs anything from Florida or up there, I'll be up there as well, at least to give some support too. So Rob, I hope to meet you at one
Yeah.
of these places as well.
I'll be at New Media, and I'll have the boxes set up at my trailer for anybody who wants to come drop anything off there. And like I said, my series is at Mason-Dixon next weekend. So I know there's a few racers who don't run NHRA stuff that run my series. So like I said, if they want to drop it off, we'll have I ordered 3 big cards off of Amazon for everybody to sign, but I may have to order another one just I think the outpouring of people going to be signing is going to be kind of nuts. So
I agree.
so I will you know, I'll be up there running Super Gas 2 at New Media. So of course we'll see each other in the lanes. So
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, very
Excellent.
cool. It was you know, it's unfortunate again, like we said earlier, that we had to do this again, but obviously we'll do it if we have to.
Yeah, it's you know, I'm not going to say anything that anyone doesn't already know, but it's an awful situation, but it's heartwarming all at the same time because you know, to watch these people put the effort in just to try and give someone a minute of relief. You know, again, we know with the fundraiser that's set up, it's not going to make up for him not being here. But if it could help out in any way and just, you know, give a minute of relief, then it makes it all worth it. And the amount of people that rally together to make that happen is phenomenal. We're 48 hours off of the event, and it's already growing exponentially. And it's really it's sad that it's happening, but it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
And I can say I talked to Megan a little bit today, Megan Hill, and that we do have some things possibly in the works for things down the road. You know, there has been ideas thrown around to do a big top sportsman race in Bill's honor, possibly in 2025. So, you know, there's things that, you know, we, you know, there's tons of ideas out there. So, like I said, we'll definitely keep everybody updated as far as things go. Once this, you know, we want to let the wound heal a little bit, you know, before things start, you know, before start, you know, trying to, you know, I guess revolutionize the world. So it's just
right.
You know, let the wound heal a little bit.
And guys, I can't stress this enough. If you know someone that was involved in responding to this, send them a text, check on them. If you see them at the track, give them a hug, shake their hand, let them know you're thinking about them. Just reach out to them, let them know that you care, because I think they could all use it. I mean, Rob hit the nail on the head with the story that he told us a couple of minutes ago. There's probably dozens of people out there that need that. So just, you know, keep that in mind, because there's a lot of people hurting over this, and it's on top of the family. There's a lot of people that were involved, and they could all use the hug or the handshake or the text.
And also, the division did post on their page that services are available to pretty much everybody,
Right.
racers, track workers, you know, people that were in the stands. If you need something, contact the division and they will, I should say, steer you in a direction to get, even if it's just somebody to yell and scream at to get it out of your
Right.
system. They are more than willing to step up and help everybody out with services. So,
I'm willing to help out as well. So if anybody needs to contact me, I'm on Facebook. You
Same.
guys can reach out to me and I'll do anything I can do to
Yep.
help. I know it's tough for me while I'm so far away, but I'm available to talk to anybody if you need it as well. I could do my part. I mean, I know I'm not at the racetrack to be there for you right now, but if there's something I can do, please let me know as well. And I just hope everybody will just reach in their pockets and give a little to Meredith and Gavin to help out what's coming on in the future. Without Bill paying all the bills, she's gonna be strapped. I'm not sure what's going on in her life, and I don't want to speculate either. I just know whatever we can do to help her will be really appreciated from her. When I was talking to her earlier, I'm trying to apologize for what happened. She's apologizing to me. And I'm just like, I watched it and I sent her a message seconds after the accident to see what happened and like if he's all right.
Right.
She was the first one to respond, and I'm just like, I just felt I just wanted to reach out and hug her, but I couldn't, and I just feel
Right.
bad.
Yep.
And I know because I was racing with Bill, I helped Bill, I drove that car that Bill was racing, and so I know where he's. I know the whole situation. I just wish there's something I can do for her, and if anybody needs me, they can find me on Facebook as well.
all right, fair enough.
Awesome stuff.
Quick, I know we all want to go to sleep, and Pete's ready for bedtime.
Pete was ready for bed at about 20 minutes ago.
This must be an important show because we're already 15 minutes past my bedtime.
But the Racers for Christ is a huge outlet to just talk to. I'm not sure if anybody's met the new Division One Racers for Christ chaplain or so. Kevin Cook, an amazing gentleman. Kevin has actually reached out and has been coming to some of the .90 races also to give to do services and stuff like that. I'm not a religious type person. I went to Catholic school for 13 years, and so I wouldn't say it scarred me, but Kevin is an amazing gentleman. We call him ZZ Top because he's got the big long beard.
I was going to ask if that was him that I saw
Yep.
today. Okay.
But amazing gentleman, so nice, so down to earth. And right now he's driving from Kentucky up to all the Division One events right now. To be our Division One representative, and he's eventually moving to Lancaster, Reading area next year, February or January, February. He told me he's moving up this way to become full time for Division One. But like I said, if find him on Facebook, reach out to him if you guys need somebody to talk to, because Kevin is just such a down to earth person and just somebody who you can just. He makes sure that he goes through the lanes. And if you're strapped in, not strapped in, whatever it is, and just either gives you a fist bump, a prayer, just a word of advice, and such. And I look, I just, like I said, just reach out to Ray.
I have a quick Kevin story for you. Thursday, when we were doing the test and tune, I was getting ready to make my first pass in my car. And I haven't gone that fast. I mean, not that it's a rocket ship, but I haven't gone that fast in probably 20 years. And I knew that I got the car running good and that it was going to go fast. And he was walking up the lanes and he knew my name. And I don't know how he knew my name because I'm like looking, am I wearing a name tag or something? And I'm not in the car that I usually race, right? My name isn't on the side of the car. But he said, "Hey, Pete, how are you today?" And I said, "I'm good." I said, "But I could use a little prayer right now." I could see my wife was nervous. I was obviously a little nervous. And he came, he put his arm around me and without hesitation, said a prayer, and it was great. And like you, Rob, I'm not an overly religious person. But it doesn't help to have a little guardian angel on your shoulder when you need it. And, without hesitation, he was there, and what a great guy.
Yep.
Very
A lot
cool.
of the NHRA people are like the top end people, every time I would make a run, they'd always come over and check on me, say
Yep.
hi to me. So like Rob said, reach out to the NHRA staff. They're always so nice to talk to you, help you, whatever you need. And reach out for them because they top end was, I heard it was pretty messy.
I would imagine. Yeah.
They were probably in for the work they had to do. I just want to thank them if they're listening. If
Yep.
anybody knows them, just tell them I want to thank them personally for what they do for us, what they do for the racers, and what they probably do for us in the future. It's always good to
Absolutely.
have them on our side to help us for our needs if anything ever happens like this again.
They would run into it full bore without hesitation, and that's what makes them amazing.
Yeah.
First responders crew, D1 crew, LVD crew. I probably said it 5 times, and I don't care if I say it another 5 times tonight. They'll do it without hesitation, and there's something to be said for that mentality, because not everyone has the ability to do that, and I would be one of those not everyone's.
Well, Rob was there. It must have been pretty warm this weekend there.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, it was bad.
every time I drove around the corner, they're in the full fire gear, ready
Yep.
to go.
Yep.
They're sweating just to help me or the other races
Yes.
in need. So I give them very much props for what they do. I can't thank them enough.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't, I don't think you really can't put it into words. You could say thank you 50 times, and it just doesn't describe what they do or what they go through. The appreciation is just, there's no way to describe it, but like Rob said earlier, and like I said, send them a text, shake their hand the next time you see them, give them a hug, just let them know, because it's the little things make a huge difference. I wouldn't want to go through what a lot of them went through during that time. It's got to be undescribable, and my heart hurts for them. And I hope that if they need help, they can get it, and I will do whatever I can to show my appreciation, because it's a tough job what they do, and I don't know. It's hard to put it into words how much you respect them and you appreciate them.
Absolutely.
100% agree. Yeah.
Well,
So with that note, I don't think there's any point in going over race results. We posted them. We know who won. We've got bigger things going on. Thank you, Hong. It's great meeting you. Unfortunately, I hate to meet you under these circumstances, but thank you for what you're organizing. Rob, same to you. You always step up to the plate in time of need, so thank you for that. Chris, you and I will always do whatever we possibly can, but even if you're not terribly religious, say a little prayer tonight for the Janke family and all the people involved, because they could use it. And if anyone needs anything, please reach out to whoever you have to.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
This is a dangerous sport we do, and
It is.
everybody takes everything for granted. So like I always tell everybody, call your friends, thank them.
Yes.
Give everybody a hug, family members. You
Yes.
never know what's going to happen in 5 seconds. You got to hug the people you love, thank them for everything they do. They might think you know what they're thinking, but you got to show it as well.
Right.
right.
Like for me, this fundraiser I'm doing for Meredith, it wasn't just me. It was a bunch of racers got together
Yep.
and made this idea. Like Megan Hill, I just can't thank her enough. Melissa, Tiana, Tommy, all of them put it all together, and everybody that donated. I want to personally thank you for helping everybody out. I'm lost for words because I know when I just checked it a few minutes ago, it was over $11,000.
Wow.
And that's gonna help her out for the funeral costs, anything that
Yeah.
I just hope we can do more. But I just want to thank everybody for what they do, and every penny counts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. And thank you for the efforts too. We appreciate it.
Yep.
You're welcome, and if there's anything I can do for anybody, just let me know.
Excellent.
All right, gentlemen. Obviously Thursday is the wake. We're gonna take a ride out to New York and attend that. We can't go to the service on Friday because I have oncology appointments, but whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know what else to say.
If Meredith is watching this, I'm very sorry. My heart goes out for you. I can't make it to the service, but no, I'm thinking of you.
Yep, absolutely.
Hong, just so you know, Megan Hill just posted $13,290.
Perfect. You guys are doing great. All the races are coming together. Share the link. More money for them. Poor Gavin. Like I don't know what he's gonna go through. I still have my dad alive. If he's watching this, I love you. He's been with me my whole life. So Gavin, I think I heard somebody say he's like 18 or 19 or
I think he just turned 19 a couple weeks
19,
ago.
19.
Yeah.
Now he's got to grow up by himself, and he's got to be the man of the family.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
And-
Brian Connery. Me and Brian Connery talked for about half an hour today during my lunch break, and he said that Gavin graduates this year,
Correct.
and he's going to graduate with his dad being there.
Yeah, and like Brian, I reached out to him. Great guy, helped me out through this as well. Brian did. He was the one that gave me some ideas as well.
Yep.
I got to thank Brian. There's everybody that was involved. I thank everybody for doing this. This wasn't just me. I know I'm getting a little emotional now because everybody reached out to me as well. Thank everybody. And I can see some of the comments that everyone's writing. I just want to personally thank everybody for doing it. Even if you're anonymous and don't put your name, I want to thank you as well. Everybody, thank you for doing everything you do as well. Chris, thank you.
You're welcome. It was awesome to see you again. Again, it sucks that we had to say hi to each other again under these circumstances instead of at the racetrack.
I agree.
So, Rob, my good man, good to see you this weekend. It's been a few years.
Yep. And good to see everybody, and good to see you, Pete. And thank you for the Moscow Mule the other night.
You got it. You got it.
All right, and whoever goes to New England Dragway for the divisionals, I'll see you guys up there. I'm hoping
Yep.
to see everybody and
Oh,
please
awesome.
shake everybody's hand that donated, and even all the races that I really don't know or do know. I just want to thank everybody.
Excellent.
And if anybody needs the address, the link for the fundraising, it's on our page. Rob's shopping list, I guess we can call it, is on our page as well. If you can't get a hold of Rob, I have his address. I can help out with that part of it. So willing to do whatever I can to help out.
Good stuff.
All right,
Okay.
gentlemen.
Well, everyone stay safe. Have a good night.
You too. God bless.
All
The
right.
viewers, thanks for tuning in, and let's try and take some of the pain away however we can.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great night. Everybody else, have a great evening. And we'll talk to you all soon.
Take care.
Take care.
See you, bud.
See ya. All right. Have a great night, everybody. And stay safe. And about it. Take care.